Finally, Zhuo Fan met Xia Wuyue face to face. Zhuo Fan asked loudly, "Are you Xia Wuyue?" Xia Wuyue chuckled softly but nodded slightly. "You're still as informal as ever. However, Zhuo Fan, you've already joined our sect. For better or worse, you should address me as sect leader." Zhuo Fan couldn't help but smirk and refused to reply. This was the first time he saw Xia Wuyue's face. Before, he had only encountered his spiritual presence, unable to see his actual appearance. Now, seeing him in person, he couldn't help but speak out. "Sect leader, may I ask why you went through the trouble of searching all the way to Tianyu to invite me to join the main sect, only to have me come here to clean for you?" Seeing Zhuo Fan's indifferent attitude, holding a broomstick in his hand and a fierce look in his eyes, he didn't look like someone here to clean. It was clear he was ready for a fight. Xia Wuyue couldn't help but chuckle softly before replying, "If I were to hire someone to clean my room with a grade 9 pill, our sect would be at a significant loss. Someone like you, how could you diligently clean rooms for others, isn't that right?" Zhuo Fan lowered his head, understanding his own situation, and shook it. Killing people was one thing, but cleaning rooms? Probably not. Xia Wuyue burst into laughter involuntarily, then looked at Zhuo Fan seriously and continued, "Zhuo Fan, truth be told, when our sect leader accepted you into the sect, the intention was to take you under his wing as a disciple of the elite group, representing the sect in the upcoming Double Dragon gathering. However, since the High Venerable isn't fully convinced of your abilities yet, you'll temporarily be assigned to the labor office for an assessment." Zhuo Fan was puzzled. He could understand the High Venerable's concern, given the hierarchy of inner disciples, outer disciples, and the labor office, with the latter being the lowest level. Why send me to the labor office on the lowest floor? Regardless, I'm at the 7th layer of profound heaven cultivation. Whatever happens, I can still join the outer disciples group. He added, "And what exactly is this Double Dragon gathering?" Xia Wuyue chuckled again before responding, "As for the Double Dragon gathering, you don't need to worry about that just yet. As for the High Venerable's arrangements, well, I might have praised you a bit too much before. High Venerable doesn't trust you, so he sent you to the labor office. He said, if you're truly outstanding, even in the labor office, you'll stand out." Upon hearing this, Zhuo Fan felt uncomfortable and couldn't help but angrily retort, "If you want me to achieve something, at least give me the opportunity. Being stuck in that labor office won't give me a chance to achieve anything." Xia Wuyue coldly replied, "That will depend on your ability. You must prove yourself to the entire sect. If you can't even match up to those two, you'll spend your whole life in the labor office." He added sternly, "And don't speak disrespectfully in front of me or curse all day long. Consider this a warning. Next time won't be as forgiving." As Xia Wuyue spoke, he glared at Zhuo Fan with a chilling gaze. Zhuo Fan cursed inwardly but maintained a respectful outward demeanor, nodding and saying, "Understood, understood." "Ha ha ha." Xia Wuyue chuckled mockingly and continued, "All right then. Since you're now a disciple of the labor office, go clean the rooms. The sect needs to see if you're worthy of this position." He smirked to himself, the strongest in Tianyu, defeating the great forces there, now reduced to a common cleaner. Let's see how he handles it. Ha! Zhuo Fan reluctantly rolled his eyes and exclaimed loudly, "Oh, this is simple." He raised the broom and in an instant, a beam of light flashed from under his feet, sweeping across everywhere so swiftly that normal eyes couldn't keep up. Sand and dust flew up, creating a yellow storm in the hall, causing a commotion. Xia Wuyue was furious, his face tightening as he quickly covered his nose and mouth, waving his hands and shouting loudly, "Stop, stop, stop. Zhuo Fan, stop it right now. What are you doing?" Stunned, Zhuo Fan halted, and the fierce wind abruptly ceased. He innocently asked, "Sect leader, what's wrong?" "I was just cleaning." Xia Wuyue glared fiercely, his eyes showing anger, veins popping on his forehead as he gritted his teeth in frustration. "This lunatic here, is it intentional?" Xia Wuyue demanded. "You call this cleaning? Are you looking for a fight?" Zhuo Fan put on an innocent face and replied with a smirk, "Well, isn't this how you clean? Isn't it supposed to be thorough and tidy?" Unable to find words for this person, Xia Wuyue clenched his teeth and said firmly, "If the council didn't see your value, I would have killed you right now." "All right, forget it," he continued after a pause. "You're no longer needed here. Go do something else." Zhuo Fan obediently turned to leave, seemingly unusually compliant. However, as he took a step, his broom accidentally collided with a porcelain vase on the shelf, shattering it instantly. Seeing this, Xia Wuyue sighed in exasperation. His face turned increasingly crazed, with veins bulging more than ever before. But Zhuo Yifan remained calm. Sect leader, don't rush. I'm here to clean up. I take my responsibilities seriously. With those words, he swung the broom again, seemingly unaware or intentionally, and it flew towards another porcelain vase. There was another loud crash as the vase shattered into pieces. Xia Wu's eyebrows furrowed in anger, his eyes glaring fiercely at Zhuo Yifan. Zhuo Yifan, still maintaining his responsible demeanor, hastily raised his hand and said cheerfully, "No worries, sect leader. Let me handle this." However, this time, Xia Wu couldn't contain his temper any longer. He shouted, "Enough. Get out. The more you clean, the more chaotic it gets. Get out now. I'll figure out how to get you out of the labor office later." Zhuo Yifan nodded slightly. Inside, he chuckled with satisfaction. Yes, sect leader's orders. With that, he stepped out of the hall, disappearing in a blink, leaving Xia Wu alone sitting on the jade platform. Watching Zhuo Yifan vanish, Xia Wu seemed so infuriated he could explode. He glanced down at the mess on the ground, his rage evident as he gritted his teeth and roared, "Where is that guy?" Xia Wu sighed deeply, his eyes filled with an infinite sense of impending doom. Shortly after, a small, elderly man in his 60s hurriedly ran in. The icy cold intent was palpable, causing him to shudder involuntarily. The elderly man hastily bowed, clasping his hands together. "Sect leader, I don't know what's made you so angry, sir," he said. Xia Wu snorted coldly in response. "Are you blind? Look at what's on the ground." The man couldn't help but tremble. He carefully scanned his surroundings, only now noticing the once meticulously maintained hall was now littered with dust, shattered porcelain scattered everywhere. His hands instinctively wiped the sweat off his forehead. Feeling a pang of distress, he thought to himself, "I better leave. Once they thoroughly investigate and catch the ringleaders, this will be yet another crime to present to the sect leader. Knowing the sect leader's character, he wouldn't hold a grudge against me." He spoke up. "All right, it was an oversight. Let me investigate," said the man in a hurry. But before the old man could take a step, Xia Wu's voice turned icy. "Wait. You needn't go. I know who did it." The elderly man couldn't help but gasp. "Sect leader, you know who did this?" But he thought, if he already knows, given the sect leader's temperament, wouldn't he have already killed the person responsible? Why would I even be here to clean up a body when there's none to clean? Understanding the old man's thoughts, Xia Wu spoke calmly, "Today, someone sent an impostor to clean up our room." The elderly man replied urgently, Yes, undoubtedly those scoundrels did this. They don't wish to live anymore. How dare they defile the sect leader's property?" Xia Wu's eyes narrowed, exuding an intense aura. His voice grew louder. "That son of a bitch. You go find out which miserable creature dared to send that dog here to clean up. I want to kill him."